Okay, Module 7. Now we're moving into saving and investing. I want you guys to take that big A tool and type up some of your financial goals. I know, Giovanni, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to type on the board, but go ahead and try it. Let me see some of your financial goals. I'm going to type one of mine up there. And it is to put my kids through college. Okay. Provide for you and your family, buy a house, college. Wow. $25,000 to go to Tokyo to open a dance studio. That sounds very, very cool. Save enough money to pay for a house, a car, and get married, to be debt-free. That is a fabulous, fabulous goal. Save enough for retirement so you can travel and take photographs of animals in nature. Ms. Goldstein, that would be fun. All right. Okay, good job, guys. All right, let's see how we can do this, how we can achieve some of these goals. You learned about saving in Module 7. What are some of the benefits of saving your money in a savings account? This would be as opposed to investing your money or putting your money somewhere in your house, stashing it. You can use that A tool again and type them up on the board. What are some benefits of saving your money in a savings account? Interest, absolutely. Save it for a rainy day. Yep, you might have an emergency come up someday, and you might need that money. Anything else? Those are two big ones. How about saving up? Not sure what you mean by death. Emergencies. Do you mean in case of, you know, somebody in your family or something like that? Yeah, because to bury somebody or something like that would cost a lot of money. To keep it out of sight so you don't spend it. Fantastic. Save it up for your kids to put them through college. Some of those financial goals that we just put up on the board. Save it up for that. You got it. Good job, guys. Okay, when we're investing, we've got some different things to take into consideration when we invest. Now, saving is accumulating money. Investing is generating money. You're using your money to work for you. That's the purpose of investing. You're going to take your money, you're going to put it into something so that you get a return back. But there's some things that you have to think about. You have to think about the risk. Speculative risk, that means you're taking a high risk. That means that there's a great chance that you could lose your money. But along with the high risk is the opportunity for a high rate of return. So you just kind of have to really weigh that out. Are you able to lose that money? If you lost that money, are you going to be devastated? If you could lose that money and still be okay, then taking a high risk might be a good idea. If you can't risk losing that money, then you need to really consider a low-risk option for your investments. Inflation. Investments may not increase with inflation. So things that you could be using that money for, the cost of those items may be going up, but the return that you're getting on your investment may not increase with that. Another one, sometimes investments you'll get an interest rate. Those interest rates could fluctuate. It could go up or it could go down. So these are all some things that you need to take into consideration, factors that you need to think about when you're going to invest your money. Okay. How can you reduce your risks? What are some things that you can do? Go ahead and take the A tool. What are some things that you can do to reduce the risks of losing your money? Okay, look for low-risk investments. Well, putting it in the bank, remember, that would be saving. There's a difference between saving and investing. Saving is going to be accumulating money. Investing is actually making a purchase, purchasing something, putting your money into something to generate more money. So, so not putting it in a savings account, not really putting it in a bank. We're looking more at investments. I'm glad you're just kidding. Putting it under your bed. Come on. Okay, not giving out personal information. That's more for Module 10. That's having somebody steal your identity. Let's see. We're kind of a little bit off on these, so let's go ahead and look at some of the answers. Look at the amount of time that you have to invest your money. If you have 35 years to invest your money, you could probably go with a higher risk investment because you'll have time for your money to, you know, it might drop and then it might come back up, and it might drop and it might come back up. So you want to look at how much time you have. If you have a very short period of time, you do not want to look at a high risk investment. Keep a good track of your records. Make sure you're watching. What is your investment doing? Is it going up? Is it going down? Make sure that any financial records that you have sent to you, make sure that you keep all of them. Okay, do your homework. Investigate what you're going to put your money in. Before you put your money into something, look and see, has it been doing poorly for years? Then you might want to reconsider. So, so definitely you want to do your homework and look into, research these different things. And then asset allocation. Asset allocation is a really good idea. That means you're going to distribute your money between different types of investments. Maybe put some in some high-risk investments, maybe some low-risk investments. Maybe you want to take a little bit of your money and put it in some common stocks, maybe put a little bit of money in some bonds. So you've kind of got, you know, you've got it distributed in different places. You're not going to have it all in one place, so that if you had it all in your stocks and it went down, you lose everything. If the stocks go down but you've got part of your money invested in bonds, you haven't lost everything. Okay? All right, you learned about different asset classes. Can you guys take that A tool and fill these in? We've got 5 different asset classes that we learned about throughout Module 7. Who knows what they are? Yep, 7.05 and 7.06. That's where you guys learned about these. Uh-oh. Let me get you started. Oh, somebody put the same one. Okay, any more? No? Oh, and I just noticed that Jonathan actually has his own chat tab on the bottom, Ms. Goldstein, so I'm not sure if he's got something in there that you might want to check. All right, let's see. Here we go. We've got common stocks, bonds, preferred stocks, real estate, and mutual funds. So these are some different asset classes. Not you, Jonathan, the other Jonathan. Asset classes are a broad type of investments with common characteristics. Okay, so here's the 5 different asset classes that I know in my class. This is what I'm looking for: common stocks, bonds, preferred stocks, real estate, and mutual funds. Okay, we've got some similarities between these 3. Okay, so I've kind of got a little Venn diagram here for you. Let me see. Yeah, I've got 3. I've got him. It was actually a while ago, so I think he's probably okay. That was actually before 5 o'clock that he typed that one in there. Okay, so common stocks have some things in common with preferred stocks. What they have in common is they're both shares in a company. When you purchase a common stock or a preferred stock, you're actually purchasing a share of ownership in that company. Here's where they're different. Common stocks do not have fixed dividends. Okay? Their dividends can go up or down depending on the profits that the company is making. Okay? They also have voting rights. So with common stocks, if they are having something to vote on, somebody who owns common stocks can actually vote on whatever they have up for voting. It's the highest risk of these three. It's actually the highest risk because it's paid last. If a company were to go out of business, they're going to pay their bondholders, then they're going to pay their preferred stockholders, and then finally if there's anything left over, then they're going to pay their common stockholders. So that's why common stocks have the highest risk. Okay? Sorry about that, preferred stocks, like I said, what they have in common with common stocks is that it is a share of ownership in the company. What they have in common with corporate bonds is that there's a fixed dividend. So they will get a fixed dividend, a certain percentage that they will get each week or each month or year or however those dividends are distributed. They'll get a fixed amount each time. They do not have voting rights. And these are not as risky as a common stock, but more risky than corporate bonds because they're paid after the bondholders. Okay? Now corporate bonds, these are the lowest risk because they're paid first after the company, when it's going out of business. First thing they do is they pay all of their creditors, everybody that they owe debt to. They have to pay them first. Once that's paid off, then they pay their bondholders. And again, they have fixed dividends. Okay? So these are the things that they have in common with each other and the things that they have completely to themselves. All right? Give me a smiley if that makes sense to you guys. Okay. All right, we're going to go through this pretty quick. These are some different types of bonds. I want to make sure that we get all this done by 6. So some different types of bonds. Bonds are long-term. Usually they're fixed. They have a fixed maturity date, and they're usually low risk. So these are a good thing to mix in with the higher risk stocks. So we've got 2 different types of bonds. We've got government bonds, which are backed by the government. These are very low risk. And then we've got corporate bonds, which we just talked about, that had some things in common with the preferred stock. They both have the fixed dividends. With government bonds, we have U.S., which are T-bills, notes, bonds, and securities. And then we also have state and local government bonds, which are municipal bonds. So let's look at some of their maturity dates. U.S. bonds, you can get T-bills. These are going to be 4 to 26 weeks. So this is more of a short-term investment that you could make. Okay, 4 to 26 weeks your money would stay in there. Treasury notes, they're a little bit longer. You're going to have your money in there for 1 to 10 years. Then we've got Treasury bonds. These are the longest one. I don't know why I put them above this one, but this is the longest one. This is 30 years. And then securities could be 5, 10, or 20 years. Okay. The municipal bonds, these are usually used for government projects. This is how the government will generate some revenue to do some kind of a government project. And these are a very safe investment because they are backed by the government.